Chapter 11. Summary: Crossroads. Sunny and his companions deal with the shock of Shifty's death while climbing a dangerous mountain. The scientist turns out to be an opportunist, more interested in the supplies he took from Shifty than his own death. Sunny remains suspicious of him, while Hero displays a sympathy mixed with mystery. As they continue their ascent, the three encounter increasing difficulties: strong winds, low oxygen, and altitude sickness. After hours of slog, they finally find a flat path leading up. While resting, they discover that Shifty's body has disappeared, terrifying them that the monster chasing them may be nearby. The scientist proposes a cruel plan. Use Sunny as bait by making him bleed out to lure the monster away from them. The scientist shows a cunning way of manipulation, while Hero finds himself hesitating between continuing with the plan or rejecting it. Sunny, despite his fear, remains watchful, watching for any chance of survival. Chapter 13. Among the Shadows. There was silence for a moment, like a heavy wave swallowing the place. Sunny couldn't see Hero's expression clearly in the darkness, but he felt a change in the atmosphere between them. Then, Hero laughed faintly, a laugh that didn't reach his eyes, or perhaps his heart. Kill? You're underestimating my intelligence, Sunny. If I wanted to kill you, I wouldn't be sitting in front of you right now. Sunny remained silent, not quite believing the words. Hero continued calmly, his voice a mix of sarcasm and seriousness. I know I've killed 2 men so far. One was a difficult decision, and the other wasn't difficult at all. But with you? No, I don't need to kill you. If I die, you'll kill yourself. You're walking this path by yourself. Sunny's tone changed slightly, a mix of caution and anger. And what do you know about me to say that? Hero smiled even though he couldn't see Sunny and replied, I know you don't trust anyone. I know you consider everyone around you a potential threat. That's what keeps you alive, right? But that's also what makes you vulnerable because you don't believe in anything, not even yourself. Hero's words cut deep into Sunny's bones, but they also angered him. And you? What about you, Hero? Do you really believe that you're an honorable hero? Do you think that killing others, even if they're wrong, makes you a better person? There was silence again, and then Hero spoke in a tone that was less harsh but no less sad. I'm not a hero, and I don't want to be one, but I do believe in one thing, trying to maintain some hope, even if that hope is fragile and broken. Sunny felt something strange in Hero's tone. This wasn't a normal confession, but a weight that the soldier carried in his heart. And this hope? What does it mean to you? Sunny asked, calmly this time. Hero hesitated as if trying to find the right words, then said, Hope means that I continue on the path, even if I'm not sure how it ends. That I try to save what can be saved, even if the price is high. They were silent for a moment. The darkness around them was thick, but it wasn't suffocating anymore. After a while, Sunny spoke in a low voice. Maybe we're just tools, just chess pieces being moved on a big board. Maybe there's no meaning to all of this. Hero replied, in a warmer tone than Sunny had expected. Maybe. But even a stone can leave a mark if it moves at the right time. That sentence was enough to end the conversation. Sunny didn't have a response, nor did he need one. As night fell, the two of them fell asleep in silence, each lost in their own thoughts. But there was something different now. There was a thin thread of understanding connecting them, even if it was as fragile as the stone path they were walking. Deep in the darkness, somewhere outside the cave, the monster still lurked, breathing in the scent of blood and waiting. Chapter 14. Shadow Hunter. Hero stopped moving, feeling his breath slow as tension pierced every part of his being. He could feel it now, that strange chill creeping through the air, that void that sucked in every sound and every ounce of light. He turned slowly, staring into the darkness behind him. There, in the shadows gathering like a living black cloud, appeared an entity that did not belong to the human world. The creature was huge, its limbs sticking out at impossible angles, its body surrounded by a dim light that flickered like flames, but it was darker than the night itself. The monster was there. Hero raised his sword with an instinctive movement and shouted, Go now! But Sunny didn't move. The young slave remained in place, his body trembling, but he did not utter a word. His eyes were fixed on the slowly creeping entity, like a terrifying mixture of smoke and knives. "I told you, run." But his voice faded as he realized the truth. The monster was not interested in Sunny. The glowing eyes, if they could be called eyes, were all focused on him. No. Hiro suddenly realized, with a sharp pain in his chest, that the bell was not a call for help for Sunny, but a call for the monster. "I summoned it." Sunny did not respond, but a faint smile appeared on his face. The entity suddenly rushed towards Hiro at an unimaginable speed, the wind from its movement enough to knock Sunny to the ground. Hiro raised his sword at the last moment, using all his strength to block the attack. The sword slammed into the monster's body, releasing a spark of black light. The ground felt like it was shaking beneath his feet, and the impact echoed through the mountains. But the monster didn't stop. With just one strike, it knocked Hiro away, his body flying like a rag doll before he fell violently onto the rocks. Blood dripped from his mouth as he tried to get up. "No, I won't give up just like that." He got to his feet, swaying. With angry eyes, he looked at the monster, then at Sunny. "You planned all of this, didn't you?" Sunny remained silent, but he didn't deny it. Hiro roared and charged at the entity once more, his sword blazing with a faint blue light. But this time, the monster was ready. With a sweeping strike, the shadow monster tore apart everything in its path, leaving Hiro toppling to the ground. That was the end. Hiro took one last look at Sunny, who was still watching, completely silent. "I was wrong about you." Those were his last words before darkness enveloped him. As for Sunny, he stood there, trembling, as the beast slowly turned towards him. But he didn't attack. Instead, the beast bowed meekly, like an obedient dog, before slowly disappearing into the shadows, leaving Sunny alone in the cold night. The wind blew, but Sunny didn't move. He knew this wasn't the end of the tunnel. It was just the beginning of deeper darkness. I will survive, no matter the cost. Chapter 14. Summary: Son of Shadows. Chapter. Opening. Sunny confronts Hiro but decides to use one last trick to save his life by luring the blind tyrant, the Mountain King, into the arena. Conflict with Hiro. Sunny takes advantage of Hiro's flaw, not knowing about the tyrant's existence, to have the tyrant finish him off. The plot succeeds, as the tyrant captures and dismembers Hiro, allowing Sunny to escape. Reaching the summit. After an arduous journey, Sunny arrives at a ruined temple on top of the mountain. He appears to be dying from exhaustion and injuries. Climax. The Mountain King appears to take down Sunny, but the temple is activated by Sunny's blood, which bears the divinity mark. The shadows in the temple move and kill the tyrant, saving Sunny's life. End. The spell declares Sunny dead and has become the Shadow Child. The chapter ends with a hint of a new assessment to come. Key points. A clever plot saves Sunny's life from a direct confrontation with Hiro. The tyrant is killed in dramatic fashion with the help of the temple's mysterious powers. Part of Sunny's special power, the divinity mark, is revealed, setting the stage for larger events to come. Chapter 15. Summary: Shadow Slave. Introduction. Sunny finds himself in a dark, dreamlike void, where he sees an intricate web of stars and silver chains that reflect the nightmarish spell. Sunny understands that this is the inner world of magic. First reward. Sunny has obtained the memory shroud of the puppeteer, a memory of the awakened order belonging to the tyrant Mountain King. This gives him the opportunity to enhance his power in the dream world. Final evaluation. The spell announces an honorable evaluation of what Sunny has accomplished during the nightmare, and lists his accomplishments: killing sleeping and awakened monsters and heroes, obtaining a blessing from an ancient god, achieving the impossible by obtaining his true name, Lost of the Light. Aspect. Evolution. Sunny's aspect evolves from temple slave to shadow slave, with a divine rank. This is an extremely rare achievement that makes him a notable figure among humans. Aspect. Description. Innate ability. Shadow bond, forcing him to seek out a master who speaks his true name to become his obedient shadow. Despite the power of his divine side, Sunny faces the challenge of maintaining his freedom by hiding his true name. Epilogue. Sunny is overjoyed by his newfound power, but he realizes the danger of the innate ability. He decides to keep his achievements a secret to protect his free will. The chapter ends with the spell announcing the breaking of the first seal and awakening dormant powers within him, paving the way for new surprises. Key points. Sunny's side rank is promoted to divine level, introducing a new challenge in the form of the innate ability that may limit him, hinting at the emergence of additional powers that will change the course of upcoming events. Chapter 16. Rebirth. Sunny wakes up to find a strange energy awakening within his body, reshaping him and making him stronger, faster, and healthier. His soul begins to transform, but his soul sea seems dark and strange. He discovers that his essence is a shadow core, a different type than the others, and notices the presence of shadow shards instead of soul shards. He gains a new ability called shadow control, which gives him special power, but a flaw in his power nonetheless appears that threatens his future. Chapter 17. 3 simple words. Sunny faces a serious flaw in his new ability. You cannot lie. These words threaten his way of life, as he has relied on deception to survive. He is now in a state of panic, especially when he realizes that he cannot hide his true identity. But Sunny finds himself waking up in the basement of the police station, where he feels comfortable and safe for the first time. He then notices a beautiful woman next to him, who appears very strong, with a 3-star badge on her uniform, indicating that she is an ascendant. When he starts talking, he is surprised that his mouth comes out unintended words, causing him an embarrassing situation. The woman, who introduces herself as Master Jet, explains to him that there are many open doors in this sector and that it is rare for people to work in the government like her. She also explains that recently, the situation in the dream world has become more dangerous. Sunny discovers that awake people like her live a life full of sacrifices, far from fame and money. In the end, Sunny is surprised by Master Jet's statement that he is smart, which enhances his self-confidence despite the challenges ahead. The chapter carries a strange tension in its atmosphere, and the mystery increases in Sunny's actions and interactions with his shadow and what is happening around him. New changes occur to Sunny, between the power of the shadow and his discovery of the ability to control it, and his conversations with Master Jet that show how he moved to a new stage in his journey. Sunny, who was suffering from psychological confusion, picks up new threads of his mysterious world. This conversation with Master Jet shows the potential for his growth within a different world, where opportunities to learn and prepare for the dream world come at a price. Perhaps his companions in this new world will not always show friendship. Sunny's thoughts evolve over time, as he develops a desire to become a master one day, reflecting an internal struggle between acceptance and rebellion. He chooses to join the academy as the next step in his preparations, and this choice appears to be pivotal in the development of his story. If you want to continue this path in the development of the story, you can focus on how Sunny will face the challenges of the Awakened Academy and his interactions with the other characters within it, and the possibility of revealing more about his internal background and the reasons that led him to make this decision. Chapter 19 adds a lot of depth to Sunny's character and the world of the academy in which he will live. Here, new challenges appear for him in the dream world, in addition to the valuable advice he received from Master Jet, which will form the basis for how he deals with upcoming situations. Through this chapter, complex dynamics are revealed to him that include personal aspects and relationships with others, and it seems that he faces great challenges on a psychological and physical level. There are many questions that come to mind here, such as the nature of the academy itself, how Sunny will confront his flaws and personality aspects in this new world, and whether Master Jet's advice will prove to be useful in the coming moments. How do you envision the development of the other characters in this story, And is Sunny able to adapt to the challenges he will face at the Academy? In Chapter 20, Sunny begins to adjust to the Academy and discovers that his way of interacting with others may set him apart from the rest of the sleepers. His new isolation seems to have opened up a new horizon for him to understand his true abilities. By exploiting his flaws, Sunny begins to use the truth in a clever and manipulative way, giving him the ability to shape how his words affect others. There is an interesting development in Sunny's character as he exploits his weakness to create a specific impression of himself among the sleepers. He seems to try to be a normal and unnoticeable person, even if it means enduring some physical and emotional rejection from others. This clever strategy reveals some of the deception he uses to hide his true nature and protect himself in this new world. In addition, the chapter highlights the emergence of another pivotal character in the Academy, the young man with strength and nobility, who seems to be a strong competitor in the future. This contrast between Sunny and the others creates a kind of tension that will inevitably lead to a complex development of relationships within the Academy. Do you expect Sunny to succeed in maintaining this long-term strategy? Or will he have to adapt more to this world to face the upcoming challenges? Chapter 21 of the novel continues to build Sunny's character through his challenging stances in the face of others. In this chapter, Sunny shows his sharp intelligence and ability to create false impressions to build a reputation for himself at the Dream Academy. His conversations are characterized by exaggeration and sarcasm in an attempt to hide his true strength and maintain his secret identity. Sunny initially presented himself as a weak and insignificant person, which eventually earned him the respect of others unexpectedly, despite his apparent lies. He succeeded in influencing the group to think that he was just crazy or weak, which would help him hide his true identity in the future. The conflict between Sunny and Castor was central to this chapter, as the two parties exchanged sarcastic words, while Sunny's intentions to belittle him were clear, while Castor tried to show superiority with his usual help. The chapter cleverly shows the way in which truth can turn into lies, in a harsh and profound context, preparing the reader for what might come next. The novel continues to present subtle contrasts between truth and lies, making Sunny's journey more exciting and complex as time goes on. Chapter 22 deepens Sunny's experience and offers rich psychological and emotional details about the situation he faces at the Academy. The chapter begins by depicting Sunny's state, when he returns to the deserted corner of the hall, where he suffers from looks of mockery and contempt. In this chapter, Sunny appears more engaged with his surroundings, but remains in a complex position between pretending to be weak and feeling anxious about others. Compared to the previous chapter, Chapter 22 shows more of Sunny's inner conflict, especially when he meets the blind girl who lost her sight as a result of the spell. This makes Sunny anxious and makes him realize more deeply what it means to survive in this harsh world. The chapter also shows different social classes among the sleepers, as the economic and social status varies between the inherited, the rich lineage, the middle class, and Sunny and the blind girl who are seen as corpses. These layers make the tension between the sleepers palpable and further increase Sunny's feelings of loneliness and exclusion. Then the instructor, Wake Up Rock, appears, who furthers this atmosphere with his harsh and frightening speech, pointing out how dangerous the dream world is and how cruel the spell is. In general, Rock aims to increase the fear in the sleepers to increase their chances of survival, which Sunny realizes and feels he doesn't belong in. This chapter further builds Sunny's internal conflict, giving him additional motivation to survive, but at the same time deepens his sense of isolation and separation from others. In Chapter 23, the novel expands on the nature of nightmares and the dream world in more detail. Sunny listens attentively to the lecture of Wake Up Rock, who offers profound insights into the world the sleepers will experience, particularly regarding nightmares and their relationship to the real world. This new information provides a dangerous and realistic dimension, as Rock explains the key differences between nightmares and the dream world. One important aspect that is emphasized is the danger of the first nightmares, which can cause a portal between the dream world and reality to be breached if not handled properly. However, with the second nightmares and beyond, things become more dangerous as the nightmares become independent entities, threatening humanity if the portal allows monsters to pass through. The chapter also presents important information about the dream world itself. There is a strong hint that this world was once home to many lost civilizations that possessed technologies and miracles, but were destroyed, perhaps by a spell. An air of mystery arises around the history of this dead world, adding a mythical and exciting aspect to the fantasy. For Sunny, this information reveals the complexities of the world he's about to enter. Unlike the nightmare world, which is governed by clear rules, the dream world offers greater freedom but also comes with unpredictable dangers, such as the possibility of encountering creatures far beyond his capabilities. The chapter also deepens Sunny's psychological tension and reveals his fears of the world he will face, with his feeling of being lost and uncertain about his future in a world full of unknown dangers. Additionally, Sunny's inner conflict is revealed as he wonders how he will interact with this new world, especially knowing that his luck may put him in dangerous areas or in places full of dangers. Chapter 24. Ascending in the World. Sunny entered the academy, where everything related to Sleeper is in the same building. He followed the instructions sent to him and headed to the dorms on the lowest level. To his surprise, he found himself in a whole room all to himself. The room was spacious with a comfortable bed, a table, a wardrobe, and even a separate bathroom. Everything was new and beautiful, and the atmosphere inside was warm and the air fresh. In addition, the walls were equipped with a hidden barrier that simulated a wide window overlooking a wonderful snowy garden. What also surprised him were the clothes bearing the Academy's logo, which were provided to him for free. Sunny thought to himself, "What extravagance!" Although in practice this arrangement was not luxurious, for him, who grew up in the slums, it was like being in a palace. He smiled to himself. "It seems I succeeded, huh?" He looked around, then winked at his shadow as if laughing at himself. At least we're advancing in the world. After Sunny put on the new clothes and examined himself in the mirror, he remembered something important. He now had the opportunity to study the puppeteer's shroud. He recalled the memory and carefully reviewed it. Memory description: Puppeteer's shroud. Memory. Rank: Awakened. Memory. Type: Armor. Memory description: The worm of doubt found its way into the heart of a righteous king. Over time, it devoured the inside until his corpse became its puppet. After its death, the worm escaped from the corpse, leaving behind a piece of black silk. No one knows where it went. However, people found the silk. Chapter 25 deals with Sunny's development at the Academy and his transition from his small world to a reality full of challenges and mysteries. The beginning reveals that Neve succeeded in obtaining a real name in the first nightmare, which raises surprise and questions about her background. Sunny contemplates this achievement and the responses surrounding it, especially Castor's looks towards the girl, which adds an element of mystery to their relationship. The chapter then shifts to Sunny in a wildlife survival class, where he meets the teacher Julius, who reveals his energetic personality and deep knowledge that exceeds what Sunny knows. Sunny faces a great challenge in absorbing the vast amount of new information that the teacher presents, including dead languages and teaching methods that are unfamiliar to him, but he enjoys this educational journey despite its difficulty. At the end, Sunny is shown smiling and contemplating his shadow, with a sense of challenge and desire to test his abilities, which hints that the story will take an exciting turn in the coming chapters. The chapter presents an exciting shift in Sunny's abilities and character developments. By controlling his shadow, Sunny begins to explore new ways to strategically use this ability. It seems that this ability could open up wide horizons for him, whether in espionage or in the ability to attack undercover. However, ethical questions begin to arise, and the internal conflict between using his abilities for purposes that may be immoral, especially in situations related to privacy, appears. On the other hand, the chapter also presents challenges and situations with his colleagues in the dojo, which enhances the tensions and differences between the characters. The girl Nevis appears as a strong opponent, who does not reveal her feelings easily, and is a mysterious force of the kind that could become a real threat to Sunny in the future. Castor's appearance at the end carries tension in the atmosphere, making the reader wonder about his abilities and how he will deal with such a strong character like Nevis. The direction Sunny is taking, whether in discovering his abilities or in confrontations with others, promises exciting developments in the future. Chapter 27. deals with the test of strength between the characters and reveals some important secrets that not everyone has noticed. The battle between Castor and Nevis left a strong impression, and Castor's exceptional speed and ability to evade was demonstrated, prompting Sunny to ponder the truth about his abilities, adding a layer of mystery about what is happening in this magical world. In addition to the threats he faces, the negative environment he finds himself in raises questions about what this place is. Sunny notices that the platform he has reached is not connected to anything else, which increases his sense of isolation and emptiness. He comments on how this area is unlike anything he has experienced before in the dream world, which only adds to his sense of helplessness. But despite the dangers, Sunny decides to wait and see, believing that something may change with time. The chapter concludes with a slight change in atmosphere, as a faint light begins to appear on the horizon, heralding a new beginning that may be brighter. However, as is the case in this dark world, it remains uncertain whether this light will bring with it hope or more mystery. Overall, the chapter continues to showcase a strange and harsh environment that reflects Sunny's internal struggle to survive in the mysterious and dangerous dream world, leaving the reader in suspense as to what might happen next.